Notif- Welcome to Beyond Sight, a channel geared towards the spiritual, spiritual development, guidance, and inspirations. And I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. Shout out to my new subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. Love you so. Sending you a virtual hug. Today's topic will be what happens when we pass, when we die. Okay, and I'm going to speak on behalf of what was taught to me in my culture and what spirit teaches me. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to give you food for thought. Um, let's take that orange again and think about it. If um, if I take an orange from New York City to Puerto Rico, and in Puerto Rico we call an orange a naranja or china, right? Does it change what it originally is? No, it's still an orange, right? If I take a china or a naranja from Puerto Rico and bring it to New York, it's still a naranja or a china or orange. It's just named differently, but it's still the same. It doesn't change form. And I'm saying that because that's what spirit is. You know, spirit doesn't change forms, it transcends. You know, what changes is our body. You know, our spirit is infinity and our body is finite. Finite is has a beginning and an end, and in between it changes because we're not the same person that we was when we was first born. You know, we're not the same size, we're not the same weight, you know. And when we become a little older, let's say 20, we're not the same size when we was just born. Um, and let's go with 50, 60, we're not the same size or texture, our bodies, I'm speaking about, as when we was 20. Many of us have put on weight. Uh, Definitely, skin has changed. Some of us lose hair, teeth, eyesight gets less. And I don't care how well you're taking care of that body, which is great, you know, because you prolong a lot of these things. But evidently, it's inevitable that these things will happen because our bodies weren't made to last infinity, you know. But our soul, our spirit, our energy, it's infinity. It's not finite. Finite is our body. It has a beginning and an end. Our spirit is infinity. It has no end. Food for thought. So what I was taught in my culture and what spirit teaches me is that are different plateaus into um the process when you die. And many of us have this experience that when a loved one or friend dies, we we see them in dreams, or we'll smell them, or we'll feel the essence near us, but we know they have passed, right? Um, That's because the spirit walks around the earth plane for spirit has told me for 3 months or so. Some of them shorter. It depends on their acceptance of what has happened to them, and to say their goodbyes and go to their favorite place, or do things that they used to do. Okay, so for example, when my husband passed, we was broken up, and I didn't know that he had passed. But I had such a empty core in my core that I knew something was wrong with him. And one night I went to sleep, and I seen him come towards me into my bedroom, and I saw that he reached out for me, but he couldn't touch me, and I could see him clear as day. And my spirit told me he doesn't understand that he just passed. And I became hysterical, because I could see him fussing and trying to get my attention, and try to hold me, and he couldn't. Um, After a couple of days of me boo-hooing, and I wasn't still told that he had passed, I could still see him coming towards me, and like if there was a clear mesh in between us, and I could see him like bump off of that clear mesh, and he couldn't figure out why he couldn't crawl into bed, or hold me, etc. After a week or so, uh I went to sleep, and I heard this fidgeting towards the floor in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I saw this blue shirt. I could see that he had gray pants on, and he reached up, and he tried the get my attention, and I could hear him say, "Help me," and I could see his skin was discolored, and his face was full of dirt, etc. And I believe that's when he was just buried, and he was either trying to let me know, because I did not know. Okay, the family did not tell me that he had passed all that time. So the next day, I found a sticky note on my door telling me that he had passed, and they had buried him. To this day, I don't know where they buried him. Isn't that awful? But it's okay. Anyway, he kept coming back, and I could see that his skin was changing colors, and he looked awful. So I started praying, and doing what I had to do spiritually for him, and by the grace of the divine, he accepted, and it took a while, because I believe he didn't want to leave me alone. But I reassured him that I was fine, and uh, he had to go where he needed to go, and we'll meet again. And by the grace of God, he's where he has to be, you know. But that happens to many of our loved ones. So they took him to a school, and that would be the next plateau. So you would have purgatory, that there would be 3 months, sorry, 3 months or less, and there they get a chance to say their goodbyes and etc. And visit family and get a hold of what has happened to them. The next plateau would be like a school. My spirit tells me some of these spirits will be longer in this plane, only because they do not accept, or whatever they've done is very, I don't want to say evil, but misdirected. So they would linger in this second plateau. But for those that understand and accept this plateau,
Service updating.
sorry, they they move on to the third plateau. And from the second plateau, they will find out if they will be reborn or not. So the the third plateau would be, like I mentioned, you know, there they would get more schooling, and this schooling takes about 7 years, our lifetime. My angels and my spirit guides have mentioned, you know. And there they would know if they have to, if they would come back to complete their mission, or they completed their mission. So the fourth plateau would be for those our ancestors that have higher light, that have been completed their mission in this lifetime, and they have a choice either to come back or to assist us in spirit, you know. So many of them come back in spirit, and they become our spiritual guides, our main guides, etc. And they assist us in our mission in this lifetime. Then you have the fifth, yeah, the fifth plateau, that those are for the angels, okay, and saints, okay, that they will never be reborn again. And angels are not born. These are angelic forms, you know. um I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, my mother or my grandmother is my angel guide." Sorry, no. Angels are not. They do guide us, but we have to ask them for assistance. And they have never been alive on this earth, and never will be. Okay, they're what you call entities. Okay, so you have the angels, and these are messengers, um, watchers, helpers, um, and the list could go on. Okay, and then the sixth dimension will be our guardian angels and higher up archangels, ranking angels. Okay, the archangels like Saint Miguel, Gabriel, Raphael, and the list could go on. Those archangels live up in heaven with our Lord Jesus and God, Allah, whatever you call them, divine. Okay, so those archangels, they do come down and assist us, but they are not uh born. Okay, they do not come to to live the human life. Okay, they come to assist our our Lord Jesus and assist us, if we ask for. So for our loved ones, in order for us to help them understand and for them to transcend these plateaus, again, we go through the process of mourning, but to hang on to our loved ones for years and years and crying and booing, and you know it's not helping them transcend. you know that energy, that spirit needs to go and expand back to where it needs to go, whether it's coming back to the earthly bound, or it's going higher up. And this is why prayers are important. you know um we are trying to help them transcend, you know and as they transcend, they help us in this mission. So when it's time for us to transcend, you know because we want to reach that top plateau and be with our Lord Jesus and our divine God. Okay. I know I do. I know I do. So and if you don't believe in prayers, thinking about them in a good way, celebrating their life, you know sending them happy thoughts, visualizing them being in a great place. you know yeah, we're gonna miss them, and so on and so on, but do that and then release them, because many of them don't want to leave, because they don't want to leave us alone. They feel bind to us when we do that. I hope you understood some of that, and if you're interested, we could speak a little bit more about this and the difference in between archangels, angels, and demons. Um, and there are some of our loved ones, humans that have been bound to this earth, and the longer they stay bound on this earth, they pick up a lot of that negative energy, or these demons will fool them and make them lose their way, and they stay stuck here. You know, not to say they will never find their way back to the divine. Yes, but it will be harder. Okay, it will be a harder process. So please keep that in mind. Okay. Today's little mini reading is going to be on changing. Somebody's tired of being in the same spot, or doing the same thing, or hearing the same nonsense time after time after time. You know, um, there needs to be a change. There needs to be a change. You know, and the change starts with you. You know, sometimes we complain and complain and complain, and we're not looking forth of the part that we play in this, you know, whether it's two, three, or just one, you know, because you could be one person and you're home alone and you're tired of being alone, you're tired of looking at the four walls. So get up and change it. Change the colors on the walls, open the door, go outside, change your routine, you know, change that way of thinking, you know. I feel the person very suffocated, you know. And again, it could be in any walk of life, family, school, work, you know. If you're fed up of a routine, if you're fed up of being by yourself, if you're fed up of hearing the same nonsense again, you have the power. Yes, sir. Yeah, changing your directions. Changing your direction. It needs to be said 50 times because, you know, the the stability in which you find yourself or you don't find yourself, you're not going to find it in that same pot. It's not in there. You have to look on the other pot. You know, you understand what I'm saying? You know, the stability to your issue, to your problem is not doing the same thing that you're doing. Sorry, Choo Choo Charlie. No, no. There's a uproar, and you need to get a handle on this uproar. Let's put an analogy. You see this uproar roar going on. You see this problem, this issue, chaos going on. So what do? You go run like the ostrich, stick your head under the ground, because what you see don't matter. Um, it still matters because it's still going on. And guess what? You got your butt up in the air. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna get kicked in your butt because you're not looking. You're not paying attention. I don't mean to laugh, but this is a true fact. You know, this is a true fact. And if this is job wise or school wise, you know, you need to to to